Okay, thank you. Just to introduce, thank you for trying to get the group narrowed down so we can have a better conversation and away from some of the noise and bustle of our typical lobby activities. Everybody knows this is Sheriff Ann Staten. How are you?
Great, thank you very much. Thanks for coming out and meeting with us today.
Not at all.
We miss you a lot. We're here because, well, it's not new for you. We've been trying to meet with you, and we sent you a number of requests to meet, and we didn't have any response. We are here to present a little bit of what we make up the ACT network. So we decided today to come and do a press conference that we did downstairs and rally, a little rally, and also we wanted to come up here and see and try to meet with you, and you're here, so that's great. So thank you. We thank you for that. The main reason that we are here is because, as what I said, we really want some response from you. I think that the community, more than the 50 faith leaders and organizations that have signed the letter that was sent to you, are not very happy about not getting any response from you. So we think that our communities are, not just think, we see it, that our communities are being in danger, and that they are being detained and deported, and ICE holds is one of the biggest problem that is creating an unsafe community and the fear on the police. So we're here and we want to share a little bit. Since you're here, I don't know if you have, how much time do you have?
As much time as you need.
Great, thank you very much. So we have a number of people here that we would like to say something. We have Pastor Lynn Lopez that you met with you the last time we met with you. So let's start with that.
Okay, I'm Pastor Ainsworth, United Church of Christ. Thank you for coming in. We were concerned because we have a lot of legal advice and have looked at the issue about ICE holds and that it is not mandatory, and we know that it has been across the country. There are places where communities have decided not to honor that and hold people, detain them for ICE. Sheriff's departments and law enforcement. And when we spoke with you before, you were concerned about the legality and so forth. Well, I've read document after document, and there have been from the Attorney General in California to others that have said it is not a mandatory thing. It's a discretionary policy to cooperate. So we're asking you to reconsider the stand that you all would honor the ICE hold.
Would you like me to respond now, or would you like to go around the room first? Because I can tell you where I'm at.
It might be the best use of your time if you have more than one piece, and the sheriff respond after if there's 2 or 3 pieces.
Let's do that. So then next, I think that it will be good for all of us to say who are we, our name, and the organization that we represent, just to give you an idea. There's a big number of people downstairs waiting for us to see what, to get a report from this meeting. So if we go quickly, we start.
My name is Mary Mendez. I work for Enlace. It's one organization who work with taking the money off for the private Christians, because when you hold people in whole ICE, go to the private Christians. If this is take money for us, for the taxes they pay, or go to the Christian.
My name is Erica Askin. I'm with Laborers Local 43, which is City of Portland and Metro Portland.
And Marco Mejia, with Justice. But I'd like to say that we are a coalition of 92 member organizations that represent unions, represent faith communities, community organizations, student groups, etc. It's a big number of organizations that we represent. It's important.
My name is Eric Urrutia, and I'm a volunteer at the Portland Central American Solidarity Committee.
I'm Joe Anybody. I film, put stuff on joeanybody.com, and I'm filming for independent media and just supporting a lot of the voices that don't have a voice.
My name is Pedro Sosa. I'm working with the American Friends Service Committee, which is a Quaker organization and also part of the Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition and member of ACT.
Samir Said with We Are Oregon is a joint between Service Employee International 503 and 49 Social Justice Project.
Jose Luis Espinosa, I'm day laborer and also I do volunteer with the GCAS.
My name is Cindy Avila. I'm part of Portland Central American Solidarity Committee and Oregon Dream Active.
Hui Ong with National Jobs for Justice, but also a board member of the Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon, APANO.
Romeo Sosa with WOS. It also work with the WOS.
We met before, but actually here representing the undocumented community, both as undocumented youth, but also from undocumented community, and Oregon Dream Active. But I'm here as a person that pay taxes here in Monroe County, and is affected by this every single day.
I'm Anicia Lamont, and I'm with the Oregon Dream Activists.
Maite. My name is Jaime Limon Chavez. I'm, the community, the Monoma. I'm scared when I driver because maybe happen the whole, because I'm in the committee. Something happen, I'm scared when I driver. This is what happened, I come here.
Thank you very much. So I'd like you actually to continue now, and we're gonna deliver also, we have these postcards that a number of organizations sign into to make it. You can, Jaime, you can help with that, please. Si lo lees también.
This is our community supporting what we believe is better for us. Or humankind.
I think another important issue that we want to highlight is that, another community member was mentioning that this program is not mandatory, and it's really important to restore the trust that is lost through these programs in our community. There's a lot of people that are victims of crime that are scared to make those phone calls, to reach out to those resources, because time and again they're caught up in deportation proceedings, and we see a lot of low priority crimes or just people that are caught up in situations that are torn away from their communities and don't have the ability to spend such a valuable time of the year, this holiday, with their loved ones. And that not only affects their immediate family, but our community, because it doesn't matter the legal status, they're a valuable member of our community. And so when we see that hurt in our community, we come together like we are coming today to really have our elected officials be accountable to our communities and to really provide that trust and those resources like mission statements that this department has, right? We want to collaborate. We want to build these partnerships with our offices, our sheriff office, our police station. But we can't do that when there's this compliance going on with ICE schools, because that dangers our community, and we're here because we want to work with you and we want to let you know how much our communities are suffering. So that's why we're here.
I expect to have a very definitive answer for you by next Monday. What I have been working on, and I have been working on very diligently for quite some time now, is trying to make a determination where my legal authority is at, what it is that I am supposed to do by law. And there's been some extreme difficulties getting a response from the federal government with regards to what it is I'm supposed to do. I have the same difficulties that you're faced with when you're trying to get an answer from our federal government on this particular issue and what they're requiring for me as the sheriff of this county to comply with my law. Now, one of the things that I do uphold in here, which we've already discussed in the past, is that we provide no service to ICE. We provide no monies, we provide no personnel, we provide no supplies. The only thing that I am required by law to provide is a space for them in the jail. And then through our previous discussions, some of the issues that were of concern, we accommodated those issues to make sure that we identified the stations, that people were aware of what's going on. We've done outreach into the community. Our deputies are currently doing it. That still does not answer the question. And I want you to be aware that this is something that does concern me. I have not ignored this. Trying to get a response from someone we have been working on it almost continuously. This has taken up much more time than I ever expected it to. I'm very surprised that I can't get an answer from the federal government on this particular issue. The way the law is written, trying to determine is whether or not I have to or I don't have to comply with the regulation as stated under the federal government. I'm not getting an adequate response. I've got a meeting up and coming very shortly on that, and my decisions as to what direction that this office will take from that point forward will be made on Monday. I have to make that decision one way or another, and that answer should be coming in later meetings this week. I want you to know that I was in the midst of a meeting when you got here about this one particular issue, and this has been going on since about 1 o'clock.
Have you seen the document from the Attorney General in California?
Matter of fact, I listened to the State Attorney General here have a discussion about it this afternoon.
And
But yes, I did get a copy of this out of California. We've had some discussions with our own county attorney on this issue. And like I said, there are certain things that I'm trying to get an answer to. Liability issues, one. The second is to what level of compliance am I supposed to be following with regards to federal laws and regulations.
well, we would like to suggest that until you get a definitive what you're looking for from the federal government, to not cooperate.
Well, and that's the
because
response.
lives are at stake.
And that's the response I plan on having by Monday. I've got to make a decision one way or another on Monday whether or not I've got an adequate response or not. I've already decided this for myself. It's not something that I've felt pressured into. It's just a decision I've got to make for the community I serve. Whether or not you believe that I'm right in this action that I'm taking, I've got to make a decision come Monday one way or another. I tried to do the right thing and to do the proper thing by trying to check into this adequately, taking requests that have been made by you and trying to get an adequate response so that I can respond to them. The only reason we have not set up any previous meetings since you were here last is simply because I've gotten no response. I've addressed this issue with other sheriffs in the state of Oregon, and there's just been no conclusion to it. I'm getting very frustrated just as you're getting frustrated because whether you know it or not, I'm very sympathetic to this. I'm very sympathetic to the plight of the citizens in this county, to the situations that you're facing right now. And please understand that that's very important. This is about trust and safety.
Yeah, I'd like to respond to a couple of things. One is that we will be, we won't have to come out to do these rallies and press conferences if we have any kind of response from you. And we didn't get any response. So we understand that the silence means disrespect for the community. That's what the community thinks. Is when somebody's asking for something and not responding for a couple of months or more than that, it's something that really concerns the community. That's one thing. And the other thing is that we have been in this already for 3 years. And we understand and have been doing a lot of research, and we don't need to do any more research because it's out in the public. In many cities around the country, they are responding because exactly they have the same situation that you are having right now. That they don't have any idea or how to respond, what the federal government is going to tell them. ICE and the institution of ICE is so broken, the system is so broken, that they come and one or the other one, they go back and forth they have said one thing and then said a different thing later. So there is no basis for giving you a lead, and they're not going to give you. That's why, you know, there it is, one and the other, you know, what responses that says, you know, we cannot go this way, and we're going to look at the safety of our communities, and this is the right thing to do. So what we wanted to ask you is, in all these communities that are here today, is that you take leadership on that. If you really care of our community, you're going to take leadership and say, well, look, this is no responses, nothing clear here, but my community is first. And that's what others have done, and say, if my community is first and safety in my community is first, when all of this is not working, we are going to decide about that. And that's why they have done it. And we ask you to take that leadership, because if Portland, I mean, if the county, the Multnomah County takes that decision, it's going to be and set a precedent and put leadership in what's going to happen throughout Oregon. And I don't know if you agree or not with this, but that's the way that we are looking at it. We've seen the you know, ICE, all the what's coming out right now in the media. It's terrible. That it's totally breaking the trust of what the police is doing. Did you read what happened in the East Coast, right? And what's coming out about releasing very, very dangerous criminals, right? That real criminals, and those are getting released, but they continue getting, you know, with the ICE holes to get innocent people, family members that are hard worker community, you know, people in the community, and those are the ones that are being affected. But then they don't even report to the police. They don't report to anyone, and then we have big consequences out of that. So what we're just asking is, you know, to really rethink about that and take leadership on this, because I think that we believe in you. You know, this community that voted for you believe in you. We are part of the community, many groups, and we are asking you to take leadership on that.
This is why I'm letting you know that come Monday, whatever the decision will be made, I'll be making that decision Monday. I'm allowing a couple of the agencies that I'll be meeting with this week to provide me with information. If the information is not adequate, and I haven't got an adequate response, you're going to see the decision made by this office in what direction.
Just to clarify,
Thank you. Is there anything else? The sheriff's got another pending matter, so if we're reaching a natural conclusion point.
He offers us as much time as we need. I don't know if that changed already.
Yeah. So I guess just to clarify, the decision on Monday is to talk about honoring, not honoring ICE holes? Monday?
We're going to be having a discussion, yes. A meeting has been scheduled by the chair to discuss this issue.
But the decision is going to be definitely just to say, like, we are not going to, or we are going to continue. Is that right?
We'll be outlining what it is that we'll be doing at that.
Okay. And then part of it is also looking at the proposal that was put on your table by the ACT Network. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then so my question to you, like, where do you stand on it? On ICE holes? Like, do you? Because you said you're personally going to make that decision. Well, meaning that you need to make your own. You need to make that decision. But where do you stand at?
Well, right now my stance is that I comply with the law, both federal and state law, and I will continue to do so. I'm obligated to do so. But with regards to how this is going to transpire on Monday, those answers will be given to me as this week progresses. The meetings I'll be attending.
So, and how are we going to know that you're going to the announcement?
I've got a response prepared.
Okay.
One is that people have been sending me emails, quite a few, matter of fact, and I've read every one of them. There'll be an email blanket that will be sent out in response to everyone that has sent me an email on this particular issue. So that'll be going out by email, which I'm sure will hit your website to cover that aspect of it. Now, the information on the meetings, going back to that. Now, I have not ignored any meeting. The ACLU has been informed when we were going to have the meeting, and they assured me that everybody that attended our meeting that we were at, that they would get that out to everybody that was involved in that meeting. I take offense to the fact that I've ignored it, because I have not. They've been responded to since October on multiple meetings that they've wanted, and we've let them know, and they said that they assured me they would send that out blanket to the 27 groups, including the ministers, pastors, and the rabbi that are listed there. That when that meeting would be scheduled, and my understanding is your name is on that list.
My name is in a letter, special letter I sent it to you, and my name, and I asked for a response, and I never got a response. And it was my phone number, it was my email, and I never got a response. The ACLU is not our representative in that. And I put my
When
name,
we got to our
and I
group
didn't get
meetings,
it.
they were. They identified
Yes,
themselves
but
as being the
I-
ones.
so-
But I'm just saying,
No,
okay?
I
Because
understand what you're saying, but
because-
we have not seen any response to all the letters that as ACT Network were sent.
Mm.
We have no response to those. If you have a letter that you can show us that you send a response to the ACT Network,
I'll
please
send
show
you a
us.
copy of it because you're listed as being represented by ACLU. They're listed as number one, and you're on that list.
I have not received that.
Did you get a copy of that list out of my book, so who's got it?
I will appreciate that.
It's gonna take us a while to dig through the files and find multiple
All right,
letters.
if I can get
If
your
I-
name.
I'll get his
and
contact information after you
Of course,
leave,
mail
sure.
that list down.
So
Yeah.
it's just to confirm, so Monday, we're definitely gonna hear something.
Monday,
right?
there will be something coming out with regards to this particular issue.
And with regards to your stance, I'll say for myself, and I would think that the organizations would agree that if you do the right thing, we will be behind you. And if you take grief from somewhere, we will help support you. And, you know, it might not sound like much, but there's a lot of loud
It says
voices.
a lot, and
we
this
really
office,
will.
you know, I will do the right thing to protect this community.
And also to let you know that we are part of the national day labor organizing network. It's a national coalition that that will be something big if you're gonna do the right thing to export nationally, because we are have connection not only locally but state and nationally.
Yeah, just one thing I wanted to add also, as a parent, I'm here, and you as a parent too, and we wanted to feel safe. If we see something in our community, we wanted to feel safe when we call your office or an officer to if we see something crime in our community. That's why I wanted to tell you, you and me, we have families, and we
Yes, we
wanted
do.
to be safe.
And just to finish it, I guess my last thing is, like, you know, I hear a lot about, you know, how we don't want to become Arizona, how, you know, so let's not be Arizona, let's actually be productive, and actually let's be that change so other jurisdictions, other states start following that lead, and you can be a champion on that. It's really a matter of, like, you know, taking that leadership. So I really hope you take the, you do the right thing, and especially for my younger sister, my dad, you know, my cousin who's here, and myself as also a part of this community.
I can assure you that the right things will be done. It's just making sure that everything is done appropriately so that there are no repercussions that come down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But we appreciate that you came to meet with us today. And thank you very much.
Just for future, we didn't have this on the calendar, we received no notice of it, so it just happened to work.
Right.
So in the future, I'm not gonna guarantee it's gonna happen to work, that the sheriff is here and he can break out of his meetings. It worked today, but that was just by chance.
That's good that it happened. Thank you very much.
Yeah. His calendar,
Many other people didn't get that. As network, just to, you know. Okay. That's why, and that's what other people are feeling.
Can you leave your contact information at the front desk?
Sure.
Could you leave it at the
Today
front
is
desk?
National
That's
Civil
gonna
Rights
get
Day,
more.
and we
You'll
wanted
get
you
it.
to honor that day.